We're here today as a community to provide some heart health strategies and habits with a focus on women. The American Heart Association regularly updates their recommendations for women to support their cardiovascular health. Some of these recommendations include implementing at least 22 minutes a day of physical activity, making healthy food choices, sleeping 7 to 9 hours a day, and taking time out for yourself to de-stress. Tonight, hearing from medical experts from Hadassah Hospital in Israel, as well as healthy cooking and meditation experts, and checking in with Hadassah members sharing their experiences and tips. This program tonight is all about our taking care of each other and taking care of ourselves individually and as a community. We had an opportunity to interview Dr. Diana Flesher last week. Dr. Flesher is a premier gender medical medicine specialist with an expertise in internal medicine and women's health, a professor at Hebrew University School for Medicine, and a member of the advisory board of the Linda Joy Polin Cardiovascular Wellness Center for Women at Hadassah Hospital in Israel. Dr. Flesher spoke to us about how women have a different experience in their bodies, lives, and doctor's office and need a different approach than men.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be participating in this conference, even if only virtually. I believe that caring for our hearts is the most important thing that women can do for their health. It was really not very long ago that heart disease was believed to be a man's problem, and we are still trying to make up for lost time. Research has largely been on men's hearts, and even today, many of the medications that we prescribe in our practice have really been tested only on men. Change takes a long time, and but I think that all of us can move things along a little faster, and in two ways. One is by actions that we can do. And the other thing is making sure that the kind of care that we get is the best. And we have a role to play in that as well. At the center, the Linda Joy Polin Center for Women's Heart Health, we have a Facebook page, and there are thousands of women who are following us and not only learning information. I know that sometimes online information can seem overwhelming, but we also learn from each other. And meetings like this, I think, are so crucial because women need to share what they know, and we can teach each other, we can learn from each other. And I think that this is really the source of our power of how we can really take care of ourselves better. And I think at Leva Isha, at Hadassah, the approach is very holistic. The approach is basically looking at the whole woman, not just her chest pain or her blood pressure or her weight, but looking at her lifestyle and addressing that. Looking at all different parts of her, all different organ systems, because everything interacts with everything else. Hormones affect every single organ of our body, not just our reproductive organs. They affect our brain, they affect our hearts, they affect our kidneys. And without this comprehensive approach, women really get the short end of the stick in terms of care. So that's the first kind of takeaway message. The second thing is women must trust themselves. Women have learned to listen to their bodies, from the very first period they had, in their adolescence. They have learned to recognize subtle changes during their cycle, and so they're very attuned to their bodies. Of course, this is important also in pregnancy. They learn to connect to small changes, and they are always the first ones to recognize when there's a problem. It's very important to trust your gut. Basically, it's very important to say, I know what I'm feeling. And that if a physician says, well, no, that's just your period, that's normal period pain, when actually she might have a condition like endometriosis, or that's just menopause when actually she has a medical condition, it's very important to stand your ground and say, no, I really think this should be taken more seriously. I would like to have further testing. If your provider is not cooperative, then I think it's time for a second opinion. So that's my second takeaway message, is really stand up for yourself and demand the right kind of approach. Now, it doesn't mean that, every twinge of chest pain requires a cardiac catheterization, obviously. But I think that if you build a good working relationship with your provider and you have a respectful give and take, then I think that it works out as a better working relationship. The other thing is that women, unfortunately, and this has been looked at in studies, women are taken less seriously than men when they have the same symptoms. And we see this, for instance, with chronic pain. So that if a man comes in with chronic pain, he is usually evaluated more extensively than a woman with chronic pain. And so there's a kind of a cultural bias that towards women, that women, you're probably exaggerating, maybe you're anxious. I just heard this week from a young woman who said to me that she left her doctor's office in tears because she felt so dismissed. And this actually was a female provider. So going to see a female doctor doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a more empathic experience. Medicine has a very strong cultural bias, and even women buy into the cultural bias. When we go through the socialization of medical school and internship and residency, it's a man's world. And so very often we buy into this less than empathic approach to women. So that's another thing. The other piece of this is also not dismissing your own complaints. And this is something that women often do. Self-care, we're the health ministers of the family. We take care of our partners, and we take care of our parents, and we take care of our in-laws, and we take care of our children and our coworkers, right? We're often at the bottom of the list. And so we'll push off our mammogram, we'll push off going to the physician if we start experiencing funny chest pressures, we start interpreting, well, maybe it's just something I can take Tums for, or, maybe I'm just nervous. The same thing, we tend to dismiss our own complaints. And it's very important to know that when we have symptoms, that we deserve to take time to go and have it evaluated. So there's one study that we show at the lectures, at the talks that we give to women, and that is a study that showed that if a woman's partner or someone else in her family has symptoms of that are suspicious of a heart attack, she would immediately call an ambulance to take that person to the emergency room. However, if she would experience similar symptoms that are possibly suggestive of a heart attack, she would not call an ambulance, and she would try to find other means of transportation. Maybe she would delay it because it's Friday night, it's Shabbat, she doesn't want to make a fuss, and so she gets to the emergency room significantly later than that man would. And this has been shown repeatedly. And one thing that we understand is that basically every minute counts. In other words, the later that a woman gets to the emergency room with signs of a heart attack, then the higher the chance that she's going to have heart damage. So it's not even, before she even gets to the emergency room, before the cardiologist can even start taking care of her, she's already, has one hand tied behind her back. So we need to first make sure that we are also recognizing and taking ourselves seriously and getting the care that we need. I would like to talk a little bit about the Linda Joy Pollan Center. I live and practice in Jerusalem, and I was so happy when this center opened because I had been looking for years for a place to send my patients to when they needed a cardiology evaluation. And I wanted a place that was respectful. I wanted a place that was holistic, that had that comprehensive approach that I mentioned before. And I wanted a place that was multidisciplinary so that you had the input of a nutritionist and a psychologist and a physiotherapist, as well as the cardiologist, because everybody in the team really contributes their expertise. Not every practitioner can know everything about everything. And that kind of interaction, I think, is priceless. And when the center opened and I was asked to be on the advisory board, I was really honored and excited. And it's so important that we have places like this for women to go to. But I have two thoughts about that. Number one is the center not only deals with women within the walls of Hadassah Hospital, but the center also goes out into the community and is partnering with sectors of the population that classically are not getting as good care. They're not as informed. They're not as connected online. They're not as connected with the medical frameworks. And those are the sectors in the Arab population, for instance, in Jerusalem, and the ultra-Orthodox population in Jerusalem. And they're wonderful outreach programs that have been very successful in educating women from those communities in preventing heart disease. And so what we're hoping to do is actually expand the program into kind of training other professionals in what we know, so that not everything falls on the shoulders of Dr. Donna Tzfat, our wonderful director, who tries to be everywhere all at once. And so that's an exciting avenue that we're exploring at this point. Finally, I would like to share with you some of my tips that I say to my patients, knowing as a woman myself how difficult it is when you are juggling both professional and family responsibilities, how hard it is to really carve out time. I know that we say first schedule your exercise and then build the rest of your day around it. That sounds very ideal, but I also find that while that's important, it's important also to kind of steal time for exercise and sneak it in. One of the signs that's by the Hadassah Hospital elevators is if it's only one or two flights, make sure you walk. You use your legs. It's catchier in Hebrew. And it's kind of a cruel twist of fate that they put the Heart Health Center on the 8th floor, but I do try to make that even sometimes. But it is important to sneak the exercise in your day. And so it could mean taking a walk for 10 minutes after lunch around your workplace. It means parking actually in the farthest parking lot away from your supermarket entrance. It means looking at housework as exercise. I find that's helpful when I'm feeling sorry for myself if I'm mopping the floor. So that's one thing. The second thing is really paying attention to what we eat. We are targeted by food commercials, all talking about the worst kind of foods for us. And we need to really work hard at making sure that we plan in advance so that we have the healthiest foods in the house, and to really try not to have unhealthy foods lying around and tempting us. And I think we need to model that for our children as well. That's how we take care of how we eat, and taking care of our bodies is really important for the next generation. Stress is everywhere, and we can't live without stress. But what we can learn is how to lessen the effect of stress on us, how to immunize ourselves against stress, and to recognize when we are becoming anxious, becoming overwhelmed, and to try to take a step back and say, okay, this is a challenging moment, and encouraging yourself to learn skills on how to deal with stress when it seems to be overwhelming. A lot of times it's just using your breath as a couple of minutes to recenter yourselves. I would like to say something also about the important role that community plays in our lives. Isolation, we know, is a risk factor, and it's very important to stay connected to each other. Stay connected not only in terms of family, but also to the larger community. And as I said in the beginning, women learn so much from each other. I tell my medical students that I have learned from my patients so much over my years of practice. And not only the famous sentence of listen to the patient, they will tell you the diagnosis, but also learning of things that I didn't know. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you have a wonderful conference, and I hope many more to come. And it was an honor to be here today. Thank you.
At Hadassah's Healing Heart event last year, Kathy Olswing, the National Leadership Support and Chair and the chapter president's Nest Chair, shared her experience of having a heart attack. And as she was talking in this video, I was, hearing some things that Kathy's about to share with you as well. So, and share with us about her heart attack and how it affected her life. A year later, she's here with us again to remind us of her story and also to tell us how she's incorporated new heart smart habits into her routines and into her daily lives. So, Kathy, to start off, would you just share with us a little bit about your heart attack and remind us what happened and what's happened since then?
Sure, Ruth Ann. It began with a pain in my chest that felt like indigestion, just as we just heard on the video. And of course, I ignored it, just like we all do, right? So the next morning, it was still there. And about an hour later, after I got up, my left arm began to feel numb, and my jaw and teeth on the left side started hurting. Well, Hadassah programs on heart health over the years have always told us that these particular symptoms are signs of a heart attack in women. So I went to the emergency room. And even when I got there, they didn't seem to think it was very urgent. My symptoms didn't make them think that much about it. It turned out that, yes, I was having a heart attack. And although it turned out okay, looking back, I realized that my husband and I should have pushed for faster care in the emergency room. After I had the heart attack, after I got home, I knew that I had the responsibility, not just as a Hadassah leader, but as a woman, to share my story with others.
So what changes have you made since your heart attack? Let's start first with food and eating habits.
Well, I have taken more control over what I am eating. I quit following those high protein diets, and I switched to more of a Mediterranean way of thinking about food, lean proteins with a lot more fruits and vegetables. I'm more conscious of cooking meals at home, and we don't eat out as much as we used to. When we do go out, when I want something to drink, I stick to water and iced tea most of the time. I save that glass of red wine for very special occasions. And when we plan to eat out, my husband and I try to choose restaurants where we know that I can easily find something that I like as well as it's good for me. If someone else chooses the restaurant, I go online and look at the menu before we go so that I can make smart choices without stressing out about it when I get there. And, we always think that we have to clean our plate. Well, I know that you don't have to. You can bring half of it home. And some of those restaurants nowadays give really huge portions. So I'll bring it home. And I've even learned that homemade sometimes is better than store bought. For example, hummus. I just recently started making that, and I like the homemade much better than the store bought.
Well, those are some really great tips that we all can use. So, in what ways has your exercise routine?
Well, I was already a hiker and a walker, and my doctor had me continue that. He told me to go out and do it again, keep going. And I didn't have to do cardio rehab because I was already doing that. The differences are that I can't do quite as much as I used to do. I listen to my body, and if I start to lose my breath, I take a break. Or sometimes I know that I need to take a day off and rest a bit. I was also doing Pilates, and I've had to stop that for now because I'm on blood thinners. And every time I'd go, I'd hit the reformer with my leg or my arm, and wouldn't do anything but give me a big bruise. So I've changed that as well.
Mm. And how about stress? What do you do to de-stress?
Well, I find that I don't have a lot of stress in my life, but I smile a lot. I find that when you smile, it makes you feel better, it makes others feel better, and then it bounces back to you. And I've also learned as I've gotten older to say no. I do a lot in Hadassah, as I know you do, and a lot of us do. However, there are times when I just say, no, I've got enough on my plate, and I don't do it.
And you don't feel guilty about it, right?
Not at all.
So, what are some additional tips that you want to make sure that you share with us?
One of the things, and it comes with time and with learning, is that you really, really do need to partner with your doctor. Make sure that all of your doctors are communicating with each other. And with all the new portals that are online that our doctors have, they can do that very easily. I also keep a list of all of my medications and their interactions on my phone so that I can look at it very quickly if I need to. And be your own advocate. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Just ask. And I find that when I get home, if I forgot to ask a question, I can go on that portal and I can ask the doctor through there. And sometimes in between appointments, I have questions. So you've got to be your own advocate.
That's a great point, being your own advocate. Well, let me just share personally and on behalf of everyone how happy we are that that you've recovered and you have good health, and we really appreciate these tips that you shared today and coming back with us again. So this year's theme, as we all know, is Hadassah Hearts You. That is Hadassah loves you. Hadassah was founded as an organization to bring health and healing to all the people of Israel, as we continue to do today. And many of you, of course, have contributed to make that happen. Hadassah women do so much to take care of others in Israel through the hospital and our youth programs, and at home through our advocacy initiatives. But remember the saying, though, that it's always vital, and this was in the video as well, it's always vital to put on your own oxygen mask first before we help others. So we've created all of these resources to support you, our members, your friends, and your communities. And here's Tamara to tell you more.
Heart Awareness Month is just ending, but our heart health is important every single day. And that's why we put these materials together for you to use, to share, or to be inspired by. Hadassah Heart You is an initiative based on the American Heart Association recommendations, including eat smart, keep moving, and de-stress and sleep. We also encourage celebrating community because particularly after COVID, we need to remember how important it is for our health to connect. So, first, you can embark on a 4-week wellness journey to a healthier life using our Hadassah Heart U journal to track your health habits and goals. And this monthly tracker gives you space to write down your daily inspirations and activities, as well as a goal tracker. You can see here. It's for each day with reminders of the American Heart Association recommendations. And we have some inspirations and more activities on the back. So keep yourself motivated with this printable and portable tool. Next, in our Keep Moving collection of videos, we currently have 7 cardio dance fitness videos created by our very own membership chair and certified fitness instructor, Louisa Narens, who you will hear from later in the program. Member Lily Kadosh, certified health coach and author of the Busy Mom's Cheat Sheet, has created 4 recipe videos for Hadassah built around the Mediterranean diet. And they're designed to help you to incorporate more vegetables and healthy grains in your meals. We also have member Lisa Bondi, director of yoga for Northwell Health's Center for Wellness and Integrative Medicine, who created a series of videos for Hadassah to help you de-stress and sleep better. We can't show them all of them to you today, but we will give you a taste. So here's part of a simple breath awareness video from Lisa Bondi.
Hi, everybody. Shalom and namaste. My name is Lisa Bondi, and I'm Director of Yoga for the Center for Wellness and Integrative Medicine. We're part of the Katz Institute for Women's Health of Northwell Health. And I'm here to share with you some powerful tools to help you to de-stress and take care of yourself. When we practice these techniques, it's been proven that we elicit the relaxation response. It helps to shift out of the flight and fight sympathetic nervous system and into the rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system, and decrease the rate of breathing, the heart rate, the blood pressure, and help to bring your blood flow back from the arms and legs and into your vital organs, which will then receive all the nutrients that they need. So close your eyes and then simply watch your breath. Turn on your inner vision. Watch your breath from the inside out. You can watch your breath with your mind's eye. Notice how the breath moves through your body without doing anything to change it. That's the hard part, right? Just noticing without doing anything to change it. As soon as we bring our attention to something, we sort of want to control it in some way. So see if you can just allow it to happen without doing anything but noticing.
Next, we have our Eat Smart videos. One is a center of the plate salad with roasted vegetables, greens, and a lemon tahini dressing. Another is a creative hummus board with lots of fun toppings. The third Eat Smart shows how to create a buildable and build upon the Israeli salad. We start with the basic cucumber and tomato, and we add exciting ingredients, including whole grain farro, to make it more of a main course meal. In this recipe, created just for Hadassah, Lily uses the leftover farro to build a new kind of Israeli salad. Let's watch.
My name is Lily Kadosh, certified health coach and author of the award-winning book, Busy Mom's Cheat Sheet. I'm here today with cooking tips to eat smart, focusing on the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet is a healthy eating plan based on the traditional cuisines of Greece, Italy, and other countries that border the Mediterranean Sea, including Hadassah's favorite, Israel. Interest in this diet started in the 50s, when it was noted that heart disease was not as common in Mediterranean countries as it was in the US. Plant-based foods such as whole grains, vegetables, legumes, fruits, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices are the foundation of this diet, and olive oil is the main source of added fat. You can create another kind of Israeli salad with this extra farro or any cooked grain you have on hand. This is inspired by the 7 foods mentioned in the Bible, and here we're taking our own spin using these ingredients. Using this extra farro we have on hand, we're going to be adding some parsley, some mint, and remember these herbs are super powerful and really a tasty flavor boost. Then we're adding some chopped figs, some dates, also chopped. Let's add a little bit of pomegranate seeds, and then some scallions. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a mix. And then what I'm going to do here is zest an orange to add that like little citrus, fresh flavor. This smells amazing. Hold on. And let's get that up into the bowl. A little goes a long way here. And again, this is a great example of using a tool to make things easier. So let's give this a good stir. And now to add a little bit of extra crunch, I want to put some walnuts in, but I want to toast them first to release even more flavor. So I'm going to add a skillet, medium heat, and then toast these just for a few minutes until it becomes aromatic. So while the walnuts are roasting, let's make the very easy, delicious dressing, which is like a orange citrus dressing. So just cut the orange in half and just squeeze that in. Getting all that juice out. So good. Okay. Now let's add some heart-healthy olive oil. A little drizzle is more than enough. And then some sea salt. Again, you could use kosher salt, Himalayan salt, any salt you have on hand, and some pepper. And I have here either pomegranate or date syrup that you can feel free to experiment as you're going. Well, I knew these were ready because I smelled it. So wait for it to be aromatic, and then once that's done, just pour that right in. Hear that sizzle. And then I'm going to just give this a good toss. Look at another beautiful salad that takes minutes to make.
Each of the recipes that we have created encourage you to experiment and make them your own. So here is Hadassah Southeastern Region President and National Board Member Michelle Weiner-Mirbaum coming to us live from Sweet Apple Farm in Georgia with her own takes on the Eat Smart video recipes we created. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, and welcome to Sweet Apple Farms, my kitchen. And today, I too am going to show you some recipes that follow the Mediterranean diet outline, so to say. And I try to make everything, as you know, simple. Keeping it simple, sister. I believe in KISS. So the first thing I'm going to show you is hummus. Everyone loves hummus. It's very simple to make. You can go on Google and find tons and tons of recipes how to make it. But I'm going to make it just a little bit elevated, simple, that you can do and your guests will love. I'm going to take basic hummus that you make, or you can, although Kathy says it tastes better, the homemade is better, but you can buy pre-made hummus. So here's your pre-made hummus, but I want to elevate it. So what I've done is I've added avocado, a healthy fat and delicious. And look at that. I just mashed some avocado and into my hummus, and there you go. And I put a little dollop of just straight avocado on top of it, so the people that are eating it know what it is. The second type I made was, and you can make it at home, is a hummus tapenade. That's right, an olive tapenade, which is just an assortment of different olives, very Mediterranean and very healthy fat, lots of healthy fat, and perhaps some onion and some seasonings, lots of cumin, and add it to your hummus. Mix it together. There's hummus number 3. How easy can you get? Can you feel the kiss? Okay, the last one I'm going to show you is beet hummus. Roasted beets, that sounds pretty rough, Michelle. That's a toughie. No, it's not. Go to the store, buy some raw beets, clean it, cut off the top that has all those delicious, those beautiful leaves on top. Then they're edible. I save mine for my chickens. But anyway, you roast it. You put the bulb of the beet inside aluminum foil, drizzle a little olive oil, salt and pepper, roast it. How easy is that? All you have to do is mash it up, mix it into your pre-made hummus that you made or store-bought, and there you go. Beautiful colors, the green, the pink, and the olives on top are beautiful. Now that's really nice, but really we need a vehicle to give it, to pass it on. Well, you know me, I like to keep it simple and I like to keep it pretty. All you need is cut up some vegetables, or again, you can get them at the store. And here I have some beautiful vegetables. I have romaine lettuce. I'm going to give you a little secret. If you ever want to taste something sweet as can be, grill your romaine lettuce before you cut it up. It caramelizes beautifully. So we're going to put each of our hummuses on the platter, which I have raw green beans, some beautiful peppers, some broccoli, some green olives, and if you like, you can stuff them with feta or goat cheese. And broccoli, we have all different things, and we have cucumber, a staple in Mediterranean diet. Now, you must be saying, how did you get a cucumber to look this pretty? Well, it's really simple. All you need to do is take your cucumber and scrape it with a fork long ways, then cut it. And then it'll make these beautiful outlines throughout your cucumber. Isn't that beautiful? So there you go. Here's the first one and done. That's pretty healthy and love your heart good. Now, number 2 is a beautiful Mediterranean salad. So we have the bowl, we have the lettuce, all the different ingredients. They're the same everywhere. You have your cucumber, you have your tomato, you have your olives, you have your peppers. But I want to do something different. So what I've done, and you can do it, and it's really simple, is you make beautiful Mediterranean skewer salads. Isn't that beautiful? So it has your romaine, your tomato, your cucumber, your romaine, and my olive is at the top, stuffed with feta cheese inside my beautiful pepper flour. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Michelle, that must be hard to make. it's not. I wouldn't ask you to do it if it was. It's so simple. All you need is a little paring knife and a beautiful pepper, the small ones that they sell in the store. And all you do is you cut them along the line. Just keep cutting it. Put it in a bowl of water, put it in your refrigerator overnight, and you won't believe it, a bouquet of beautiful pepper flowers that you can stuff with a tomato. You can put an olive in there. You can virtually fill it with anything you want. In fact, if you'd like, you can even stuff it with quinoa. There you go. How simple is that? Well, that was pretty simple. Now, the next thing we're going to make, really need to ring the doorbell. I have plenty for you to eat. The next thing we're going to make, oh, wait, you can't eat a salad without a dressing. No, that doesn't sound good. So I'm going to reach over, excuse my reach, and I'm going to get a bowl. What kind of dressing do you like with your Mediterranean food? I know me. I love tzatziki dressing. You know, that yogurt, lemony cucumber dressing that just tastes so good as you slather it on your dressing, on your salad. But the beautiful part when you have a skewer and you put your dressing separately is that you get to decide how much dressing you want to put on. So here it is, very simple, very kiss friendly. Okay, all we need to do is add a half cup of shredded cucumber. I took that box grater and I cut it and I drained it several times because let me tell you, cucumber has tons and tons of water in it. But look at that. There it is. That's it. I've done that. And then we're just going to add a whole cup of whole Greek yogurt. You know, you could go with the lower fat, that's up to you, but I will tell you that the whole fat tastes a little bit better. Okay, so we have that. We have a tablespoon of lemon juice and a half teaspoon of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, all good fats. So that goes in. Next, all we have is some grated garlic cloves and some sea salt and chopped dill and a little bit of chopped mint. So I'm going to add that. Here, can you smell it? It's really good. Really, really good. Okay, so that's pretty simple. And that's the whole dressing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it up. And it's a good thing I drained oh my God, this looks good. That I sopped up all the extra moisture. Wow. Okay. And I don't know if you can see it yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my container. Now, there are many containers that you can use. If you want to get a little more formal, you can always put it in a gravy boat with a spoon, of course, because it's too thick. But look at that. I'm going to show you that. Look how beautiful. Hope they invent smell-o-vision soon. Oh, it's so good. Taste it. Tastes good too. Oh my God, I can't believe I still have time for one more. Okay. The next thing I'm going to make, yes, I really do have all this energy. The next thing I'm going to make is a low carb friendly Mediterranean salad. Other salads are great, but I like to keep very low carb. It's keto friendly, it's low sugar, and it's really tasty and very healthy for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my bowl. It is So take note for this simple one, people, is cauliflower. So we take a small head of cauliflower and rice it, which means cut it up into very small pieces. You can use your processor, but let's keep it simple, sister. They come prepackaged cauliflower rice in your supermarket, frozen and fresh. So here it is. So 3 to 4 bags is the same as a medium head of cauliflower. So there we go, cauliflower in there. Okay. After the cauliflower, we have our olive oil, 1 tablespoon. We have our minced garlic. Oh my gosh, I have it all here. I have my minced garlic. We add our salt and pepper. Very little at first because later we will adjust it. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we have our sea salt, our black pepper, and then you won't believe the really good stuff. We're adding pumpkin seeds. Now, you can get them at the store raw, but I recommend that you buy them and roast them yourself in the oven for just a couple of minutes. Don't let them burn, but they taste so good. Add your tomatoes. This is a fun one. Add your stuffed green olives. You can stuff them with goat cheese. You can stuff them with feta cheese. I don't know about you. I love me some cheese. So there we go. We have that. And now we're going to mix that up. We're going to mix that up. And then we're going to add, I have them here. We're going to add grape leaves. What? Grape leaves? You can't go Mediterranean without grape leaves. They sell them in the store, and they come wrapped up in jars. So again, you have to rinse them very well because they are salty. Then what you do is you roll them up, because they're dry now. Roll them up, cut them up, thin chiffonade, which is really roll it into a cigar. There we go. Into the salad. Look at that. And then I'm going to roll my lemon because more juice comes out. Okay. Squeeze it in. Look at that. All righty, going to mix it up. And then, oh, it's in there. We're going to put it on a beautiful platter. Now, you can serve the dressing in a platter, on a platter, and it's going to be beautiful, no doubt. But there's other ways you could serve this too. And I want to share it with you to give you options. Okay, look how pretty that is. Oh, really pretty. Really, really pretty. You have several options. First of all, a friend of mine reminded me of a wonderful thing to do. Taking a Vidalia onion, that's a sweet onion. Now, you know I'm from Georgia. Of course I'm going to push Vidalia onions, the best onions in town. What you do, again, trusty aluminum foil, your Vidalia onion peeled, but leave the stem on it that has the root so that it still stays together. Roast it, let it cool. Trick, let it cool. Cut it into sections, and you have the sweetest onion boat that you can serve. You can serve your hummus in there, or you can serve your beautiful cauliflower salad, or you can scoop the middle of your cucumber and put it out on a platter for everyone to help themselves. And there you go.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for showing us all of your great ideas. I so appreciate it, and how creative and so much fun and so simple. And so,
Great.
so
You know,
now
is Michelle Kornweiser to show you how she keeps it.
Yep. So here's Michelle Conweiser to show how she keeps fit. Michelle is the immediate past president of Hadassah, Southern California. And then we'll hear from membership department chair and the star of our dance fitness videos, Louisa Narens, who will tell us a story of her entry into fitness world and how the community helped her to find that. So let's go to Michelle Conweiser's video.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm here to tell you about my tips and tricks to keep me moving. So, I find it so important to have a really healthy lifestyle and move my body daily. And I like things easy. I don't like to do hard things. Now, I'm blessed to have a gym in my home, but I'm going to show you some things that you can do even if you don't have a home gym. Now, one of my favorite forms of exercise is boxing. And of course, I do have my gloves and my bag. You don't need that. So I can gloves on and I can do my boxing with the full body workout and fantastic. I just want to take off the glass and do the same thing in front of the mirror, and it's shadow boxing. So I've got my fists up to cover my face, to protect my face, and I just can do some movements, and it's full body. I'm squatting and I'm twisting. It's a really great workout. 10 minutes is really easy. All right. So what else do I do to have tricks? Okay. I like to watch TV and do two things at one time. So I can go down to my family room. I don't need a mat. I don't need a gym. And I can just do some pushes while I'm watching the Today Show in the morning. Exercise. And another thing that I love to do is listen to audiobooks. So one of my favorite activities when I don't want to have a big workout day is to jump on my bike, listen to my audiobook. This way I'm exercising, I'm staying fit, I'm moving at the same time that I'm getting my books read. You know, I have my important book club meetings to still go to at night. And another trick that I want to tell you is my hair. So I don't like to wash my hair every day. You do. So on my days that I wash hair, those are my exercise days. Those are when I'm really sweating out. Okay. So I'll have a 45-minute bike ride. I'll take my dogs for a walk. I'll maybe go on a hike. I'll listen to my book. Then I'll go home and shower. Okay. And on days that I have just washed my hair and I don't want to get too sweaty, maybe I'll do another back for maybe 10 minutes. I'll hit the bed for 10 minutes. I'll stand in my kitchen and I'll do weights while my microwave oven is baking my dinner. Okay? There's lots of ways to get your exercise in. So anyway, I just want to thank you for coming on here and get moving because it's important for your health.
Lisa Narens is up next.
Hello. How are my movers and shakers? So Michelle likes to chill out and exercise by listening to an audiobook. Well, my happy place is dancing, and music has always driven me to move. So that's what I use to keep me going. When I'm shopping at the supermarket and I hear the music, I can't help but move and dance. You should see my husband pretending he doesn't even know me. I've always been into fitness, but when I moved to Harrisburg, PA, it was difficult because I don't drive and I couldn't get around easily. It took a friend, a Hadassah friend, to come pick me up and take me to the Zumba classes she was taking. I loved it so much, I decided to become an instructor. It takes that community to help you start, to help you to continue, to help you reach those goals. And you must set goals one step at a time. So much of the damage that we have done to ourselves can be reversed. Don't get discouraged if you take a step back. Look at it as a new beginning. All exercises can be adapted and modified, and intensity can be added as you gain strength. Aside from cardio, you need some weight training. And I'm not talking about pumping iron at the gym. For Zumba, toning, I use these weighted maracas. But if you don't have weights, try using a couple of bottles of spaghetti sauce, cans of beans, or even water bottles. Push-ups and planks are excellent strength training using your own body weight. You can't hold a full plank? Well, then put your knees down, but keep your back straight. Can't get down on the floor? Try doing the push-ups up against the wall. Don't ever think you can't do that. Instead, think, I can modify. And soon enough, you will be doing more than what you think you can do. You never know what this may lead to. A new fitness routine, a new network of friends, a new career. The possibilities are endless. I am so excited to encourage my Hadassah friends to use the tools and resources that have been created to live a heart smart lifestyle. Listen, we read together, we eat together. Why not exercise together? Our chapters could create their own heart health wellness clubs and use the Hadassah Heart You Health Habits Journal to track your best health habits and goals as a community. I have created a few 20-minute playlists on my Spotify that I would like to share with you. Give them a try. See if they help you keep moving. We are all here to help each other individually and as a community. Listen to the next video and tips coming from Israel to us here in the United States. Dr. Elisheva Lader from HMO gives us the verifiable fact direct from the Linda Joy Pollan Cardiovascular Wellness Center for Women at Hadassah Hospital. These tips can help you maintain your motivation. See ya.
Some 5 quick tips I think can help people stay motivated for their health goals and keeping their heart healthy. The first one is a great one. It's making it social. It's really important to connect to other people, especially if they're friends of yours or community are health oriented. It helps you to stay on board, stay on track, but also even just physiologically. There's a lot of research now that's pointing to connecting with other people and relationships help to release neurochemicals, oxytocin, which are helpful with coping with stress and a lot of other challenges that we might be coping with. So connect to somebody, connect to somebody else, connect to a friend, connect to a group. All these are great ways to help protect your heart. The second tip is connect whatever it is that you want to do with something that you're already doing. So let's say you want to start walking right after dinner. So maybe as soon as you put your pots away in the fridge, you have your sneaker bag or sneakers right next to your fridge. As soon as I put the pots away, I wanted to go walking, and it kind of slides into your regular routine. So you're not having to make a new routine, which is hard for a lot of people to create a new habit. But if you just kind of piggyback it to a habit you're already doing, it can kind of help you maintain that habit throughout the day, throughout the week. Our third tip is keeping it fun, keeping it interesting. So a lot of us kind of get bored, or we kind of get burnt out doing the same thing over and over again. It's really important to keep it fun. So when you're choosing whatever it is that you want to start integrating into your life for health, make sure it's something you enjoy. Make sure it's something you like. Spice it up with either a new friend, a new walking track, or a new soundtrack. Something interesting, something different, something fun. Another great tip in general is to always try and stretch yourself as you're moving through life for whatever the goals can be, but certainly when it comes to health. You want to kind of up the ante every now and then. So if you're walking, let's say a half hour, two days a week, then try to increase that, maybe 3 days a week, or you want to move it up to 35 minutes, or try uphill, or a new pathway that's a little bit more challenging. And the fifth tried and true tip for maintaining health behavior change is tracking. When we're constantly aware and conscious of what we're doing, whatever it is, it could be you want to eat more vegetables, you want to drink more water, you want to eat more fiber, you want to walk more, you want to connect with people more, whatever it is that your health goal is, it's really important for you to maintain consciousness of it and to track it. So you can see, am I doing it? And sometimes that's enough by starting to realize, wow, I really am eating healthier than I thought. Or gosh, it's been really hard for me on weekends or in the afternoons. That kind of helps you to plan ahead and make the changes that might just kind of tweak yourself to a better situation. And rewarding yourself for whatever successes, any successes that you make. It can be that you're consistent on the goal that you're making. It can be that you did more than you thought you would do. But making sure that you're rewarding yourself, and it does not need to be, it does not need to be an expensive trip or a manicure or even anything to spend money on. The reward can be, it can be acknowledgement. Wow, look at that. That's pretty darn good. I did this. Make sure to reward yourself, to say positive things to yourself, and certainly sharing your successes. Back to number one, if you share successes with your social, your community or your friends or your buddies, you're reinforcing the successes that you made.
Thank you, Louisa. What a wonderful program tonight, full of ideas and inspiration for our Hadassah community. A special thank you to Dr. Flesher and our Hadassah leaders, Kathy Olswing, Michelle Weiner-Merbaum, Louisa Narens, and Michelle Conweiser for sharing their expertise and strategies. Our mission at Hadassah is to heal the world together by taking care of ourselves, caring for others, self-advocacy, and advocacy for others through research and patient care at the Hadassah Medical Center and through Hadassah advocacy and engagement programs connecting to Israel and each other. There are many resources you can use right now to begin creating healthy habits. But remember, heart health is important all year long. Here are a few links to use and share today and every day. And look for an email tomorrow that will include follow-up information with these links and more to help you create heart smart habits and connect meaningfully with Hadassah. Remember, Hadassah hearts you every day. To watch the videos we've shared today and other Hadassah videos, please go to the video section of Hadassah.org. And you can even download your own Hadassah Heart You Journal. You can hear how Hadassah's own Beth Spack shares her powerful story of how Hadassah Hospital saved her life in When It's Not Indigestion. You can listen to Hadassah's podcast straight from Israel, Hadassah on Call, New Frontier. We have recent episodes on how to get better sleep and innovative heart treatments. Join Hadassah in urging legislators to prioritize women's heart health in the 118th Congress with the HEART Act, which stands for Heart Health Enhancement Through Access to Research and Training Act. Now, the best way to find out about upcoming programs like this one and to connect with Hadassah's many health awareness initiatives is to become a member. So if you're not a member, please do join, and the link is in the chat. And if you'd like to donate to Hadassah, please use the link in the chat as well. Thank you for attending tonight's program. We'll close out the evening with some more Hadassah members and the strategies that they implemented to live a heart-healthy lifestyle. See you all next time.
One thing everyone should know about heart health is how important it is to take care of the one heart that you have. Although we can't see our heart, it is integral to everything that we do.
Good health is achievable with just small steps and small changes every day. Getting more steps, getting more sleep, drinking more water, being mindful about what you put into your body. View food as medicine.
To me, heart health is all about intentional exercise and intentional eating. I can't do one without the other.
Our Shabbat menus also have changed so much. In the past, you would have found 3 or 4 starches on our table, kugels and potatoes, but now we really focus on lots of different types of vegetables. Our kids have really learned the vegetables can be delicious. Our special Shabbat treat is popcorn cauliflower, which we can never make enough. I have 2 children, aged 10 and 11, and they're always watching you. They want to emulate what you're doing. Healthy actions start with the parents. This year, I am participating in a 500-mile challenge. When I am walking or running on the treadmill and I get off, my kids jump right on.
Walking and swimming are my favorite activities. I love swimming laps with Frank Sinatra or Bob Marley booming in my ears. Both exercises for me are meditative. They de-stress me. Plus, exercise time is my creative time. I dream up some of the darndest ideas for Hadassah. So Hadassah gets a real benefit out of this too.
My favorite activities with every move counts are walking and dancing. Very often on Friday nights, while my husband is cleaning up from Shabbat dinner, we'll put the music on, my daughter, my daughter-in-law, the 4 grandchildren, and we'll just start to move. It's a great way for them to get their spolkies out, for us to relax, and just to have fun as a family. And sometimes to get our steps in.
There are many ways to stay active. Art has always maintained a very active lifestyle. In fact, that was part of what was so appealing when we began to go out with one another.
Having the walking group in particular that meets twice a week has been an invaluable resource for me in my retirement, and particularly in these trying times of COVID. We are taking care of ourselves, and in turn, we are taking care of each other. I have subsequently become a lifetime member. So thank you, Hadassah. Fair warning, you're stuck with me now for the long haul.
My blood pressure is back under control. My cholesterol is better. And I feel better than I have in a very, very long time. And I have to thank Hadassah and my Hadassah sisters for always being there for me and helping me on this journey.
Taking care of your body is a powerful message.